Hello, I'm Nancy. Welcome to my channel. The videos that are on my meditation playlist are about spiritual truths that we need to know, but that we also need to get down into our hearts, into our spirits. For it is out of the heart that we live. I talked with you last week about disciplines in the Christian life, in particular, fellowship with God. Please check out that video if you desire a closer walk with the Lord. This week, I want to talk with you a little more about being God inside minded. It is exciting to be a Christian in today's culture. We have the opportunity, actually, we have the privilege of revealing to the world the glory of God. But we won't be able to do this if we're still struggling ourselves in knowing and following after God and His way of thinking, His way of doing. The disciplines in the Christian life are there for a purpose. As I said last week, these disciplines do not save us. These disciplines grow us up on our most holy faith. They allow us to, bit by bit, step by step, begin to think like God thinks in order to be who God desires us to be. I talked last week about fellowship with God. When you talk about fellowship with God, most people think about God way out there, somewhere in the heavens, sitting on His throne with Jesus at His right hand. And they strive to get themselves into those heavens, into that throne room, in order to reach God. I'm talking today about fellowship with God in the person of Holy Ghost. Holy Ghost, the third person of the Godhead, who is in you. You do not have to strive to reach a throne room. What you do is to go inside, because that is where the third person of the Godhead resides. Jesus told His disciples in John 14:16 that He was going away, but that He would send another comforter who would abide with us forever, another helper who would be in us. We need to develop the mindset that God is in us, in that third person of the Godhead, Holy Ghost. We do not need to go anywhere to meet with God. We do not have to be anywhere else to be with God. We have to go inside. And if we do not go inside, we miss the fellowship that is always available to us. Many times inmates are locked down in solitary confinement. But if they have paid attention to my preaching and my teaching, they are able to go inside themselves and experience the presence of God right there in lockdown, in solitary. They are never alone and they are never abandoned. I have mentioned before a little book that came my way in my early days of being a Christian. I'm so thankful for that book. Practice the Presence of God. It's about Brother Lawrence, a monk, and this is way back in the day, who was assigned to work in the kitchen of his monastery. That book so influenced me that I have, for the most part, always been conscious of God inside me. I have been God inside minded. I was recently interviewed for a magazine article to be written for our church family. The young lady asked me what Bible verses were the ones I went to regularly in ministry. I knew what she meant by this question, so I gave her some basic scriptures that are good for everyone. But it caused me to think about this. What do I do in times of crisis, in times of trouble? And I realized that what I do in those times, I go inside. I go inside to where God is residing in me to get his wisdom, his direction, his insight. In life, for the most part, you do not have opportunity to hunt up a Bible or search for scriptures about your problem. You may not have time to start a prayer chain or even call for the elders of the church to pray. If you don't already have the answers within you, the help that you need, well, you may go without. It's not that God did not show up in your situation. It's that you did not prepare in your downtime for situations that were coming your way. Does God extend grace and mercy to us anyway? Yes, he does. When he can and where he can. But if we want to live the lives that God has called us to live, to be the witnesses God has called us to be able to reveal his glory in the culture in which we live, then we need to grow up in our spirits and stop being babies who always need others to take care of them. In the extreme crises of life, I can look back and see the times God prepared me in advance for what was coming my way. 2 of these were life and death situations. Both times I went inside to where Holy Ghost is and received my instructions on what to do and how to do it. And in both of those times, we received restoration. We need great wisdom in living in today's culture. Things have certainly changed since my younger days, and for the most part, those days will never return. I only have my memories to keep me warm and cozy. But to make a difference in the lives of those coming after us, we need to be all that God means for us to be. If we want to participate in revealing the glory of God to this present culture that we find ourselves in, then we need to grow up and begin to operate in the things of God, his way of being and his way of doing. Use the disciplines in the Christian life to grow and develop. Use these disciplines to prepare for what is ahead of you. It doesn't happen overnight, and you may take a stumble or two, but persevere. It's well worth it, and it'll be well worth it in the coming days. Realize that while we are blessed children of the Most High God, that we do live in this fallen world that's influenced by the God of this world. That's what we're told in 2 Corinthians 4:4, our greatest enemy. He will send things our way, whether we are ready or not. So prepare. Use the disciplines of the Christian life to grow, to develop, so that you can be used to reveal God's glory in the earth, in today's culture. If you're enjoying my videos, do me a favor. Please like this video and subscribe, and check out my playlist when you have a chance. Thank you for watching today, and we'll be together again soon.